welcome back to round one of the YugiTuber Grand Championship. In this match, we have 87ShoNuff, who's playing Yang Zing, going up against SpeedySteve, otherwise known now as Synchro Extremist. And he is actually going to be playing Synchrons. And so for this wonderful battle of the Synchros, we have with us none other than Galactic God. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, YouTube? This is Galactic God. And I'm very privileged to be here commentating over two very exciting decks. I definitely love the synchro mechanic.
So, starting off, 87ShoNuff is going to be activating the effect of Jiatu, and that's going to allow him to ditch two of his Yang Zings in hand and special summon two Yang Zings from his deck, which is a really potent opening because it sets up for some really good synchro plays, seeing as Jiatu is a tuner.
Yeah, so this is... Yang Zing is a deck that I was first looking into when Duelist Alliance came out, and I mean, it's not quite as fast, I think, as Synchrons are, so it'll be interesting to see just how well they perform against each other, because they're both synchro-based.
So, 87ShoNuff actually going into a Yazi, and that Yazi actually cannot be destroyed by battle and is unaffected by trap cards since it was synced with a Bion and a Bixi. And SpeedySteve starting off with a Charge of the Light Brigade. He's milling off two Level Eaters off that mill. So that's actually going to be really good for setting up for Synchros.
Yeah, Level Eater is one of the key cards in any kind of Synchron deck, so getting them both in the graveyard is going to help him out a lot. Although those two skill drains that 87 has set, I'm sure are going to make it a little bit harder for him.
SpeedySteve discarding a Raikou for Quick Draw Synchron, and he's going to normal summon out a Junk Synchron. But I think 87ShoNuff is going to activate that skill drain there.
Yeah, it's going to put a stop to it.
Yeah, that would actually, if he did not have that skill drain, that would have been a very good play for SpeedySteve.
Definitely. I know SpeedySteve likes to play Synchrons a little bit different than how I used to do it. I used to play it kind of Quasar or Bust, but he kind of uses the extra deck more of the toolbox. And so I'm sure he was going to go for some kind of destruction effect, Synchron play to get rid of the back row, but... looks like, let's see how he's going to change it up.
So it looks like he's going to Level Eat the Quick Draw Synchron, which reduces the level by 1 and special summons out the Level Eater. And then here comes out a Doppel Warrior.
This would have been a really, really good play if that skill drain wasn't down.
I think you'd have Quasar set, wouldn't he?
He would be pretty much there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see what he's able to do now, though, because he could have gone into, made all kinds of plays, really.
Now, is either one of the ways that you two play the deck, is it one way more consistent than the other, or does it still have the same flaws? It's just one way is utilizing the extra deck in a different way.
I think the reason why SpeedySteve uses it more as a toolbox, I mean, I've seen him have dual videos up on his channel where he could make Quasar and he opts to go in a different direction. And I think that's just because over in Europe, they didn't have Quasar for so long that he had gotten used to just playing the deck in a different way altogether.
So we see a Synchro for 5, and here comes Hyper Librarian, which, for those of you who don't know what this card does, is every time now that SpeedySteve makes a Synchro play, he's going to be able to draw one card. But unfortunately, we have Skill Drain out, so that effect won't be activating anytime soon. And he's also going to a Junk Berserker. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting play. Junk Berserker would normally be able to remove a junk monster from the graveyard to lower the opposing opponent's monster's attack by the amount of the junk monster that was removed, but won't be able to do that.
And those Level Eaters get to go in. Level Eater is such an amazing card. I mean, the fact that Level Eater is not once per turn is kind of absurd.
It is kind of crazy. I mean, it does have that built-in stipulation to where you can't tribute it, so you can't use it for weird OTKs at least.
That's true. So, looks like
he also has the effect where he doesn't die by battle.
Yeah, that was from using Bion, the Earth Yang Zing. So.
Oh, and he's got that Level Eater out there in attack mode.
Right. Can you remember the last time you've seen someone use a Junk Berserker, though? Because I can't.
No, not, I cannot. I don't even think I use it in any of my Synchron builds, because you just don't normally go into it.
But it looks like that was a misplay on SpeedySteve's part, though, because he put that Level Eater in attack mode, assuming he could attack over that Yazi. But,
I mean, Level Eater doesn't have a high amount of attack anyway, so it's kind of weird that you would do that. Oh, it looks like he does have a Quasar play now, though.
Yeah, unknown Synchron hitting the field. So I'm guessing we got Formula coming out. Yep.
Which would normally net him another 2 cards if Skill Drain wasn't on the field.
Yeah, that Skill Drain's actually putting a lot of pressure. And on top of it, since Yazi's actually unaffected by the Skill Drain, Yazi's effect is still relevant. But there's Quasar.
Yes, that's nice. I mean, it's still 4,000 beater, even without the effect.
Exactly. So in this case, I mean, looks like 87ShoNuff's going to be in quite a bad position because it's going to be difficult for him to get over a Quasar just standalone 4,000.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not able to use any monster effects to do so either, then, I mean, he's got to rely on maybe drawing into, like, what, a Regeki or something of that nature.
Right, because, I mean, the Yazi's the only thing that's going to have its effect, unless he makes, another synchro play with a Big Shi.
Yeah. I mean, he could easily just put that into defense mode, though, and I guess stall out.
Yeah. I see him draw a wiretap. It's not going to do him any good right here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Steve is not playing any traps whatsoever, so that wiretap I'm sure will go out when they side.
And I imagine that's typical of Synchron decks, is that it's pretty much all offense, get to Quasar as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, usually you go almost no... I mean, I've seen some people play Decrees, which would be interesting if he does have that in his deck, at least mained, because then he would be able to get around the skill drain.
SpeedySteve making a joke that they might be here for a while now that Yazi's in defense mode and it's unaffected or it can't be destroyed by battle. So the only way SpeedySteve is going to be able to get around that is if he can somehow out the skill drain and maybe destroy it with a monster effect. Or, ooh, but he draws into a Big Shi though. That's interesting because he could resync with that Big Shi in that Yazi to go for a play.
Let's see what he's going to do.
Looks
here.
like he just sets it and passes though.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess since he figures he's not going to be going into any kind of battle mode now, or special summoning.
Poly's Dichotomy allows Steve to return 3 monsters of different types back to his deck, or in this case his extra deck, and he gets to draw 2 cards, but he cannot conduct his battle phase during the turn he activates it, which is pretty irrelevant seeing as how Yazi can't be destroyed anyway. So Steve takes the free +1. Why not? Dig deeper into his deck.
Oh, that Compulse is gonna
probably
put in some hurt.
Yeah. I think it's funny how Steve just opted to put that Quasar in defense mode, but we see it tuning them down.
Well, 4,000 defense is pretty hard to get around normally too.
Exactly.
Oh, mills a tuning with the tuning.
Adding that junk Synchron to hand later. I think Steve at this point is just trying to thin his deck out as much as he can to just find some sort of answer to this. Ooh. 87ShoNuff drawing a Soul Charge. Interesting.
Oh, that should be nice.
Yeah, he can do a lot with that.
Let's see what he's going to opt to here, though.
Is
he going to play it now?
It looks like he's considering it. He's activating it now. Okay. Looks like he's going for 3. He might make a really big play here. Yeah.
Let's see.
I imagine he's going to make something with the Big Shi because...
so he can get around the trap negation.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I said before about syncing with that Big Shi that he said. He doesn't have a tuner. That might be needed. For some reason, I always think Big Shi's a tuner.
No, any of the ones that aren't light or dark are not tuners.
Yeah, it's just Jiatu and Chiwen. So he's going to sync for 4? It looks like he's going for a Herald of Arclight. Interesting choice.
Let's see what he's going to do.
Interesting. But that Herald of Arclight is affected by the skill drain, so it's acting now as just a floating macrocosmos. Because I think that's an effect that a lot of people forget that Herald has.
Is that the macrocosmos-like effect?
Yeah, because most people know it as being... Yep, and there you go. He's just using the Yazi effect to just clear out the Quasar. So,
now I wonder if Steve is playing... the Shooting Star Dragon in the extra deck.
It gets that effect when it leaves the field?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm guessing either he didn't decide to activate, because it's not mandatory, it's optional.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he either just forgot, or if he doesn't run Shooting Star. Which don't really imagine a lot of people would run Quasar without Shooting Star. That seems kind of odd.
I have seen some duelists take it out just because the extra deck space in a Synchron deck is kind of tight, and they figure once they get Quasar out, you know, it should be, you know, in the bag.
So Steve's triggering the effect of when Bian was destroyed to go ahead and bring out Chi-Wen.
Okay.
So now he can go into another rank 4, or sorry, Synchro 4. So is he going to go to another Herald? Unless he goes into like Balmung or something, which I would not understand why. I think 87ShoNuff just explaining here how the Bian was triggering.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So they're clarifying that up. Really interesting, though, having that floating Macrocosmos. How detrimental is Macrocosmos to Synchrons?
Well, graveyard manipulation is pretty much one of the key factors in the Synchron deck. So if your pieces aren't going to the graveyard, you're not really able to reuse them later.
Right.
Plus, you know, if you're playing cards like Pot of Dichotomy, that could also mess you up because, you know, if you can play another Dichotomy and get his Quasar back in his extra deck, he can resummon it again later.
Like in this instance, too, if those Level Eaters leave the field, they're just going to get banished. So he's not going to be able to just abuse Level Eater like he can right now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
So if you were Steve, what would be the ideal play in this situation?
I mean, he's going to have to get rid of those skill drain. I mean, he doesn't know that there's another skill drain down there, too. So that's... But, I mean, the skill drain is really what's stalling him up. So drawing into an MST or something of that nature would be the only out that I could see him having.
Because the deck is so monster heavy.
Yeah. As I mean, even if he's main decking a Regeki or even a Dark Hole or something, it's not gonna help him that much.
It's not really going to solve the problem because he can't really push past with that skill drain being.
A lot of the Synchron plays too. Yeah, a lot of them get their pluses off of going through the loops with TG Hyper Librarian and Formula and just drawing over and over again from the combo. But I mean, if you can't draw into your pieces, you're not gonna, it's not gonna work out very well for you. So and now we see Unknown.
Unknown Synchron again. Did some work last time.
Also going for a level 3 this time.
Level 3.
Mistbird, I assume. Yeah.
Is Mistbird the only level 3 Synchro we have? Or is there one more?
It's not. There's another level 3 Synchro, but I think you need a specific tuner to actually summon it.
Okay.
It's not generic.
So
it's I want to say.
Level 3.
I believe so. Okay. I can't think of any other one. I know there used to be another one. I want to say it's like some kind of turbo rocket or something. I don't remember. You need a specific tuner to play it, though.
So 87ShoNuff activating Yangzing Path, which is kind of similar to Pot of Dichotomy in a little bit. It's going to go ahead and bounce, or not bounce, it's going to send 3 cards back to his deck, or 3 Yangzing cards back to his deck, and he gets to draw 2 cards.
Which is really good, because Yangzing can sometimes clog up the graveyard, stop them from getting their combos off.
So he draws into a Reasoning and a Pulao. I think that's how you pronounce that one.
Yeah, I don't know. The Yingzing names are always...
Yeah. Pulao's the
really
one that
weird.
when it's synchroed, it's unaffected by spells.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Yingzing players not actually use that card either.
I think they use it as a one-of.
Yeah.
Since it's usually...
And when they do use it, it's a one-of for sure.
Yeah. I think because for the most part, traps are the bigger threat than spells. Even though we're in an environment with Regeki and Double Dark Hole and Snatch Steel, I would think that Pulao might be more...
An optimal choice.
Yeah, more optimal now. But it looks like he's going to activate the effect of Yazi to pop the Pulao and bring out a Chi-Wen. And that's also going to bring out a... Suwani, so now he can go for a level 5 synchro play here.
You think he's just gonna
probably
was it like
looks
6,000?
Yeah, I guess he's just gonna swing.
Okay, that should be enough then, right there, right?
It looks like it. Let's see what he goes.
Oh no, I guess he could have put it in attack mode and it would have been enough, right?
Maybe he wants to save the Herald for defense mode in case Steve plays any hand traps.
Oh, crazy.
But the Armades is at 28 from the Suwani though, so that's 5,400.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's enough still, though. I think that's all. He'll be left with 600.
So Yazi doesn't have a boost on him, huh?
No.
Oh, Gores, too.
Ooh, interesting.
Nice read.
Wow, that was a really good read. So the Gores comes down in defense mode, and that token has 2600 attack.
Is the token going to even come out because of skill drain? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we got rid of that. So Steve activating Allure, drawing a couple, and he's going to banish a Dark. I mean, the Gores is good to stall out, but I don't really think it's going to do him a lot of good here. I mean, that skill drain's still there, and Armadius is at 28.
And then Yazi can't even be destroyed by battle.
Yeah, so it's like...
Quite a predicament.
That's really bad. What do you think about 87ShoNuff using Reasoning? I think that's a really interesting tech.
I haven't seen too many Yang Zing players try using it in, because... Well, I mean, I guess it would make sense, though, because they're all different levels.
Drop, though. Interesting. So now he's going to need a little bit more attack power to get over that BLS.
Well, at least he can get over Armadius now.
That's true. He can. And I imagine that's what he's going to attempt to do. But going back to what you were saying about Reasoning, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I guess Reasoning does make a really good sense because all the Yang Zings are of different levels. So, you know, you're not really going to have a specific one that you're going to be able to call and necessarily nail it for sure. So
right. I mean, you could just take a guess maybe that they have like 3 copies of Suwani, 3 copies of Shiwen, maybe, I don't know.
But I mean, if you're playing 3 of everything, then...
Good luck. Yeah. So...
Easy.
With that BLS out, he's pretty much going to be forced to attack over that Armades. And I wonder why wonder why Steve switched the Gores to attack mode. Because he can't attack... Ooh, Compulse.
Compulse.
On the BLS. That's big. Because now that Gores is in attack mode, and the Armades
he wants to get that extra 100 damage in.
I guess he just wants to get in every little bit that he can.
I'm not sure what... I mean, not playing traps at this point, too, is kind of... well, I guess it wouldn't even really matter, because he's unaffected.
Yeah. And then that Yazi can just go ahead and pop the BLS, so I really wonder what's going to happen. Going for tuning. Maybe he has something up his sleeve. Quick draw Synchron.
And he really needs like an MST or something. He's gonna... I'm sure he's gonna be citing in some back row hate now.
Oh, I bet. Unless SpeedySteve texts in like the 1 copy of Magic Cylinder to go ahead and just end the game next turn.
That would be pretty epic.
Yeah. Actually, that wouldn't even work because Yazi's unaffected by traps and Armades can't... Nothing can activate during that. So that would be actually useless. But the dream can be alive. Goes ahead and...
Well, I mean, does Magic... And there goes the end of the first round.
That's the end of the first round. So we're going straight into game 2. I forget. So SpeedySteve opted to go first then, which I imagine you'd want to.
Maybe playing against this deck. Normally Synchrons, though, it's like you need more combo pieces to really get yourself going a lot of times. And when they lowered the hand size from 5 to 6 in your starting hand, it really did hurt it quite a bit. As you can see right here, all he does is pass.
He is just passing, but maybe he feared the skill drain, and that's why he wanted to maybe go first in case he did have a potential combo he could do.
That would be, yeah, I guess the only thing I could see for why Reasoning to go first.
Really rough for 87ShoNuff, opening with triple Beyond in his hand. I think he opened 2 last game as well. Ooh, anti-spell fragrance on the draw. That's really interesting.
Hey, you do play quite a bit of spells in a Synchron deck too, so
that's a really interesting side deck pick. Or main deck pick. I don't know, he might main deck it, for all I know.
That is... I wouldn't think that would be some... Oh, it's going to stop your Reasoning play.
Yeah.
So he's just going to try and get in there.
And
I hope Steve put in that Mirror Force.
And looks like 87ShoNuff's just going to go ahead and swing with both. Put Steve down to 2,900 already.
Wow, I hope he's got a play here.
I do too. You know, one more turn, and that could be it.
There's the reinforcement.
There's the Rhoda, yeah. So at least he can get a monster.
I wonder which one he's hoping for. Let's see if he can discard something to make Junk Synchron live. Oh, there you go.
Yep, so there's the quick draw. And the level here.
Nice.
So he's going to discard that. Oh, he's going to bring back that with the Junk Synchron. And that gives him,
let's see he's going to
9
sync for
stars
first. Oh, well, there's 2 tuners on there. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Now we got...
So now we got Doppelganger, yeah.
So he's going to be able to go into his formula now for sure.
It's going to start with...
Now, ideally, I think the next play would be for him to go into a Road Warrior with, let's see if he goes that way out. And there you go.
For 8, yep, and there's the Road Warrior.
And Road Warrior is going to allow him to get another tuner out of his, from his deck to the field.
And he gets the draw off Librarian as well.
Yeah. I think he's going to use, he should be using Level Eater next, too. He should have, he might be able to get into Quasar.
Gonna level eat the Road Warrior, yep, I imagine, there we go.
Get a couple more draws now.
Yeah, Hyper Librarian, when it came out originally, was just so devastating.
I remember when it was first released, too, and you could have 3 in your deck. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, the plays were just nuts. So that formula
like
lets him draw a card.
Yeah. The height of the Synchro era, really.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Crimson Blader, really interesting. That's a really good pick right now. So when Crimson Blader, on top of it being a 2800 attacker, if it destroys a monster and that attack gets through, the opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters until the end of their next turn. So
yeah, it should be nice. At least you know he's not going to be able to synchro up to something bigger next turn.
Right. So that's actually a really good play by SpeedySteve.
He's got to be fearing the skill drain though after last game.
I actually wonder the interaction with skill drain and Crimson Blader though after it's already attacked.
If it's if he was to flip it over now, you mean?
Yeah. Now that the effect is already in effect, so to speak. I wonder if it would still negate it.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I think I knew back in like the Dragon Ruler days, but that was time ago.
Yeah.
So it looks like he sits him back though. But SpeedySteve has made a really good comeback, but that dark hole is huge right now.
If only there was a Lance back there.
Yeah. And the reason that's so big is because that dark hole is actually going to trigger the effects of both of his Yang Zing monsters, while SpeedySteve's going to lose his entire monster lineup. And
you can bring both these monsters out in attack mode too. So if these are able to connect, that might be all she wrote.
This might be the end of it, yeah. And he's just
I hope Steve put in that Mirror Force.
Well, we've had some pretty clutch Mirror Forces in this tournament so far, so wouldn't surprise me.
I haven't seen life points go down. Battle Fader?
And the Mirror Force, too, though, wouldn't even do a whole lot because it would just special summon back more Yang Zings.
Well, the one good thing, though, is it would still stop the attack because when all these ones are destroyed, the ones they special summon have to come out in defense mode.
That's true, yeah.
He wouldn't be able to at least continue the attack.
And it looks like SpeedySteve says that he doesn't have anything else he can do.
That's going to be game then.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to concede the game. And so game's going to go to 87ShoNuff. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next match.